Okay, good morning, good evening, or good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. You are welcome to this program. While you are joining us, share the video, invite others to join. Let me make sure that we are coming out live, clear, before we proceed. Just one moment. Machineries, which are joining us. All right, we are here, we are here. Of course, we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook, and I want oh, please, please, if you are watching us, each time this start cracking, whenever you notice a crack, today's broadcast, kindly inform me or notify me through that comment section. I'll be checking mostly the comments from YouTube. Kindly notify me wherever you are watching from. Kindly share the video, invite others to join. Very, very important. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like the video. If you are watching on Facebook, share the video, like the video for the algorithm to continue with the sharing as well. Wherever you are watching from, you are welcome to this exposition and analysis on some certain issues that is actually facing our people in that contraption called Nigeria. Greetings. So, we are going to actually focus on the way Nigeria is being run under the regime of President-elect. Under the regime of the President-elect, we are zooming into the activities in Nigeria. Also, of course, you saw the poster before we come here. I believe you saw the poster, or I don't know if the poster did not show, but let me show you the poster once again so that you will understand what we are doing. Now, in this poster in front of you, you will see, of course, the president-elect. You will see electricity meter box. You will see Asari, you will see Ejimakor, and you will see Kanonta. So we are going to be talking about these pictures that you are seeing right in front of your screen according to their activities. Of course, I talked about Ejimakor last week. Was it last week? Oh, yeah. But this first day of this week, which is on Sunday, I talked about Ejimakor. And then what I talked about him was I actually read his US history. So in that history, of course, you saw or you heard what I read about his activities And the reason why I am actually talking about his activities again, of course, we don't want to actually, pay much of attention to him because, as far as I'm concerned, he is looking for money. And secondly, the reason why we are bringing it back is that there is a letter that he wrote to the DOS and addressing it to the head of the directorate. And in the manner in which he wrote such letter, it is a manner that is very, very disrespectful, if not for anybody or if not for anything, to the structure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu established. Like I will always say to you, each time we come online not to actually fight with anybody, ignorant or no ignorant, and not to defend any individual, but we are defending the structure that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu established, because without which there is no IPOB. That is exactly what we are here to do. And that is the reason why I am bringing them back again today, for us to continue to learn about the impact of their rebellious nature in our struggle and to the detention of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. So first of all, of course, in Nigeria today that electricity tariff is going up. Electricity tariff is going up with 40%. Now, electricity to go up with 40%, that means you need to bring out more money. You need to bring out more money. 40% extra money from what you always budget for electricity in Nigeria in the past years. Have you now seen the reason why each time I come online, I tell you that each time they bring a new president, things continue to get worse for you? And it is not only in Nigeria, in Africa, as a whole country, as a continent. Each and every day you decided to change a new leader, the problem increases, and the problem comes in a new dimension. Now you will now start learning how to adapt, how to live with it, how to navigate it. You will eventually complain, cry, you adopt it. You will say, now we are only waiting for 8 years. We are only waiting for 8 years because you are meant to continue to wait. You are not actually positioned, or actually these people positioned our mind in such a way that we will never ever be in a hurry to be free. Rather, we will be in a hurry to have individual success. That is how our minds are being positioned. And this is the reason why we also always come online to make sure that we continue to remind you. We will continue to remind you until you change your manner of approach, until you change the manner in which you are using to approach the problem, especially the problem that is coming from your leaders. You will change your manner of approach towards this problem. If you don't change it, you will continue to wait for the next 4 years, 8 years. Things will never change itself. It is up to you to stand up and make that change. And now, the time to make that change is now. or never. I don't need to tell you that this is the last days. I don't need to tell you that this is the last days. The last days are here. All this while you've been hearing it 20 years ago, 50 years ago, 10 years ago, the last day is finally here. And the reason why I am telling you that the last day is finally here, it is because the prophecy said at the last day, knowledge shall increase. And that knowledge is what, is increasing in the world today. Knowledge shall increase. If you read the book of Daniel 12 verse 4, you will find it there. Shut the book, for knowledge shall increase at the last days. And the last day is now, and that is the reason why we are telling you to now make a hair while the sun shines. A stitch in time saves 9. The reason why we are saying this, we are actually talking about this because you know what I am seeing in Nigeria right now. What I am seeing in Nigeria, it is a war. I am telling you the honest truth. I am seeing in Nigeria the exact same thing that is happening in Sudan. In Sudan, I am seeing it in Nigeria. Do you know why I am telling you this? Because so many of you does not follow. You don't follow the atmosphere, you don't read the environment, you don't understand the algorithm. And that is the reason why things will always take you by surprise. And that is the reason why we are different from any other, person that is actually calling for your mind emancipation, because we will inform you the next thing that is going to happen. We will inform you and give you, we'll give you actually a solution to that problem. A practical solution, because we are very, very pragmatic. We do not only speak and go home. We speak and we actually give you a solution, and we practice what we preach. We are very, very pragmatic. Now, it is very, very important for you to understand that Nigeria, Sudan, of course, you know about the conflict in Sudan. When it open up in Nigeria, don't think it will be like that of Sudan, because it's going to be worse. It is going to be worse. Let me now clear you up how the potential way it is going to happen. Now, if you look at the activities of the president-elect, if you look at his activities, if you look at his activities with Asare Dokubo, you will know that there is a kingdom that is about to rise against another kingdom. The pair are actually going to bring doom to Nigeria. And if you, as a freedom fighter, I am loving it. But as a person who have friends, family, and well-wishers in that zoo, I will have a second thought. But in this regard, a sacrifice must be paid for something to happen. Now, when you heard Shetima and Kunle's telephone conversation, you heard them talking about how to make sure that the Igbos in Lagos are taxed to the extent when they will not be able to, service those tax. And we will make life very difficult for them. We will actually put the indigene in the front. You saw that. It is Kunle and Shetima's discussion. And now, knowing that the Fulani feudal system of government, which actually makes life very, very difficult for anybody that is non-Muslim, anybody that is a Biafran, they decided to actually make life, they call it Igbo, to make life difficult for Igbos. And some of you who are non-Igbos will believe that, oh, of course, it is making life difficult for Igbos. It is not our problem. It is about the Igbos. Now, we are agreeing with you that it is making life difficult for Igbos. But by the time it will set, you will understand the reason why they said we are going to put the indigents in front, first. You will understand that it is all about the indigents. It is not only about Igbos. So if you are Hausa in Lagos, you are not going to be recognized as a Nigerian, one Nigerian. If you are from coastal region in Lagos, you are not seen as one Nigeria. Lagos is a new country that is actually, actually trying to protect their territorial integrity. That is Lagos State for you. Lagos is no longer for all. Lagos is for the Yorubas. Likewise, Hausa land supposed to be for Hausas. The reason why they say Lagos should be, the Igbos are being victimized in Lagos. Because the Hausa man cannot come and compete with Igbo man in Lagos. And the Yoruba man cannot come to compete with Igbo man in Lagos. And secondly is that Hausa man knows for them to come in, or Fulani man knows for them to come in, to see if they will replace the position of Igbos, they have to advise, they have to bring initiative of victimization of Igbos so that they will come and take over. Have you wondered the reason why the Dangote built the refinery in Lagos? Have you wondered the reason why it is in Lagos he found to build the refinery? And upon doing that, they are going to be coming closer. But the Igbos and the Biafrans, be you coastal region or wherever you are from, it is better you start taking your basket back home. Start taking it back home. Leave your, leftover. Maybe if there is leftover, still manage it within Lagos. One leg here, one leg the other side. This prophecy has been given to you guys for a very long time now. It's just that our people does not know how to run for rain. It is only when you start beating them, smashing them, that's when they will now start running. Very, very important for you. Don't say it is Igbo issue or Igbo affair. There is no more one Nigeria. Everyone is now securing what they've got. And you are still believing there is one Nigeria and you are playing games. You will find this one Nigeria, how it is going to vanish before your eyes. It will vanish before your eyes. Pay very good attention. Share the video and invite other people to come and hear this gospel. The reason why I said under this regime, one Nigeria will vanish before your eyes. Do you know how? Number one, this regime is not fully accepted by the military. It is not fully accepted by the military because, God works in mysterious ways. You see, God, He works in in mysterious ways. Of course, so many people will be believing that the problem that will happen in Nigeria are Biafrans. These Biafrans, they are the ones causing problem in Nigeria. God is going to now provoke the problem for you to see where the problem is coming from. Because the plan of this imperialist Britain, it is to say that we are the aggressor. I am not sure the reason why YouTube is oppressing us. I am not sure the reason why YouTube is oppressing us. YouTube, I don't know, but whatever it is, YouTube is very, very dodgy. It's acting very, very funny this evening, this morning, or this afternoon, depending on where you are. Of course, YouTube is always the first for them to, make sure they buy over to suppress us. It is YouTube. YouTube is a very, very close ally to Nigeria. If you think about it, you will understand. That is the reason why even Goodluck Jonathan suggested that Google should start taking care of Nigeria election coalition. So for you to know, it is the close ally to Nigeria. So whatever they are doing there, it is up to them. Of course, one way or the other, this gospel will be praised and go across where it should go. But let me not lose sight. It is not all the Nigerian military that are in support of this current president of Nigeria. It is not all of them. There is power tussle going on. And secondly, this man called Tinubu, he knows that Fulani does not like him. He knows it has sunk into his brain that the Fulani does not like him. What is going on now, it is for him taking a precaution. Taking a serious precaution because he is placed there for the sake of he is there for the sake of, they used him to sustain the power, or to retain the power rather. They used him to retain the power. It will not be a long time, before the power goes back to them. But they will now vilify the Yorubas first. They have to vilify the Yorubas first. Because while vilifying the Yorubas, Igbos will hate Yorubas. So-called South will hate Yorubas. Then some Hausas who are, who understand good things when they see it might hate Yorubas. They will isolate you because you will be believing that it is Biafra that is going to be isolated. You will not know you are the one that is going to be isolated because you have started already to isolate yourself. Don't forget what happened to Afonja. He decided to, join force with the Fulani superior force. Be believed that is superior force. And he lost Ilorin to the hands of the caliphate. So, the important thing we need to know that if the militaries are going to be divided, here is the report. If the military of Nigeria are going to be divided, they will eventually start fighting themselves. Those in the side of the president will be fighting those on the side of rebellious group. Will I call it rebellious group, or just like what is happening in Sudan? It's a paramilitary and military are fighting now, but this will be now this one is military versus military. The ones that are actually affiliated to the current president elect, and the ones that are not affiliated to him. That is a kind of, it might be like a kind of military takeover. If it is like a kind of military takeover, then these two military people will be fighting each other. And that is exactly what might be happening in Nigeria, the way I am following the algorithm. Because the reason why I am going towards this direction is, number one, Asaredo Kubo saying such things he said about the military inside the presidential villa. He did not just say it from the creek. He said it from inside the presidential villa. Aso Rock. That's where he said, all those things, that the military of Nigeria are the ones stealing the oil. And he generalized military and navies. He generalized it, that it is the military that is stealing the oil and the navy, undermining civil defense that is supposed to be the ones guiding the pipeline. Now, this could only mean that there is a power tussle between the current president and the military. Which means the current president could use Asare Dokubo in order to tackle or to expose those military activities. So this is exactly what I feel that is going on right now. What I feel that is going on right now within the, from the look of things. And Asare Dokubo is standing behind Tinubu because Tinubu has to take a precautionary measure. He does not trust those that he's dealing with. He knows. He knows those that he is dealing with. He does not trust them. But the most important thing is that he is now playing his game tight, believing that it is going to save him. It is not. It is not enough. Because the plan for you, they will say that there is something you need to understand about some Yoruba people. Britain knows that some Yoruba people are actually, they know that you will carry somebody at your back, but their legs is still walking on the ground. They know. So don't think they will just trust you just like that. The only person that Britain trusted in Yoruba land was Obasanjo. They trusted him so much. And I don't know the reason why. So, or will I say one of the people Britain trusted in Yoruba land is Obasanjo. One of them. But for this guy, man, where the office now, Britain no trust them. And when they don't trust you, of course, they will plan. Any plan they make, you go dance them. Any music they set up, you will dance it. You will never escape it. because they are the master in the game of chess that you people are playing. So in this regard, it's either problem erupt in Nigeria through the military. If not the military, it is going to be a popular uprising. It is going to happen in Nigeria. It is coming. Tinubu is claiming that he is the man who used the taxation to make Lagos great. Now, you want to now use taxation to make Nigeria great. Now, I want to tell you the real reason why Tinubu will not succeed in Nigeria. Number one is that if before you actually start taxing, bringing up, taxation in Nigeria, before you will ever start bringing increment towards the tariffs or like electricity, or which is a very, very essential amenities, before you will bring a constraint to the people's pocket towards the affordability of such essential services, I believe you need to do everything to make sure that the cost of living in Nigeria becomes very low. The cost of living becomes very low, whereby the rich will now pay more tax than the poor, right? Which is for the rich to pay more tax than the poor. Sometimes there is a type of monetary policy that you will implement that will make the rich pay more tax than the poor. But at the end of the day, you are not even thinking about anything stabilizing the economy. You are inflicting pain, poverty. You are inflicting suffering on the wound that is already deteriorated. You are rubbing salt in the wounds of these ordinary people in Nigeria. First thing you came in, we are removing subsidy. I wonder who is advising these people. I don't know who is advising them. Subsidy removal, it is very, very essential. But before you remove it, you have seen that the people are suffering. Cost of living is very high. Everything is working against ordinary people. The rich are getting richer. The poor are dying of poverty. Now, the first thing you will remove is that you remove subsidy that actually makes their petrol price to go low. If you remove subsidy that makes their petrol price to go low, petrol price goes up. And as if it wasn't enough, you are now have enacted a law that electricity tariffs is going up by 40%, bringing a financial constraint to the poor, because the rich like you and other politicians in Nigeria will never feel it. It is these people, they pay in dollars. They will never feel it. But the poor people who are grappling with, providing, 2-course meal or for their family, how will they now afford such things? Like Okada man who is buying petrol, maybe he is buying petrol before 150, 70 naira, 150 naira. All of a sudden, petrol went up to 500. How is he going to adjust? And now, if he has to adjust, now his riders are going to pay more. Who are those riders? Poor people, because there is no rich man who climb Okada. Poor people are going to now suffer for it. At the end of the day, you will find out the bosses, the bosses are going to pay more. Now, at the expense of who? The commuters. Now, those commuters who are poor, of course, for you to be a commuter of buses in Nigeria or taxis in Nigeria, it is because you are poor. Because the way they will load these buses, of course, well, also saw Telicham model. Some people, something like that. If Facebook kick you out, bring yourself back up. Because I see they are kicking you out. If they kick you out, bring yourself back up. That's what they do every day. If they kick you out, bring yourself back up. We are here. They are doing everything to suppress this program. Likewise, YouTube, their own is worse, but it will not stop the gospel. So, as I was saying, it is very, very necessary that you understand that the impact of all these tariff hikes, first subsidy removed, another thing, maybe they will start taxing you, taxation, which is what they will call their own monetary policy. And this taxation, it is going to only affect those poor people, especially those people who are working for government. Of course, those government workers or government officials, you will find out their salaries are not going to be increased, but their tax are going to be increased. They call it a monetary policy. And at the end of the day, you will find out that everything is working against the poor. The rich continue to get richer. Because when you introduce a monetary policy, you hike the interest rate. Maybe you hike the interest rate. It is also part of the monetary policy. If you hike the interest rate, of course, it affects the middle class. It affects the middle class, and it also favors the rich, because the rich are always, maybe I would say, maybe it is middle class, because those who are able to put money, fix money into the deposit, save money. Those that are saving money, they benefit during this type of monetary policy, increment to the interest rate and all that. So those who have money on board are going to benefit from it. So I believe it is the rich that has money in their savings, or will I say the middle class, because the rich is always investing. They invest. So at the end of the day, the poor person will continue to feel the heat, because those who took money to do different types of businesses, maybe from the bank, if the interest is now heightened, it means that the service they are going to deliver is going to go up. So in everything anything they do, it will always be you, ordinary person, that is going to feel the heat. You are paying to make the rich people rich. And now the government of the day now is now making these things worse by bringing up everything that every price, bringing all the prices up. If you are buying electricity with the extra 40%, you are already crying. What do you think will happen? And these things, what do they bring to the country? Corruption, crime. Because now that's where you will start seeing people bypassing electricity. I've been answering that these people, when they do these things, this is the reason why Africa will never grow. It is because they actually make their law so tight, so tough, and unobtainable that the people will now be living outside the law. The people will now make sure that they start avoiding the law or going through a due process, because they will make their law so very harsh. Now, if all these things begin to work against you, ordinary person on the ground, what will be the fate of those poor people? Some of them, they will have to commit crime. Some of them, they have to, they have to do anything, whatever it takes for them to put food on the table for their family. Have you now seen crime rate is going to go high as well? So that is the reason why some of these African leaders, they just do things without thinking. We heard that this thing is actually working for US. Let us do it. We heard that this thing is working for UK. Let us do it. Without actually checking the background you are doing it. What are the challenges these people are facing? How is this thing that I am doing going to impact them? Increasing the tariffs, how is it going to impact ordinary people on the ground? They don't care, because all they know is that they must make you a criminal. They must push you to that extent of you going to commit crime so that they will incarcerate you. Once you commit crime, either they kill you while you are at it or they incarcerate you. That's why they are making everything so difficult for you day by day. You will think, now let's go to the polling unit and change our faith. You go there, at the end of the day, they give you the same people. At the same time, things get worse. You cry, 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 4 years, 8 years, you change another one, believing no, that is the Messiah. It will never work until you break the barrier. And in Nigeria, there is only one barrier that need to be broken. This barrier, it is very, very simple barrier. Break the structure. Decentralize, disintegrate the structure. Disintegrate the structure, and decentralize these powers to, how it was pre-colonialism. If you are able to achieve this, believe you me, you will start actually moving forward as nations. You will start moving forward as nations. If you cannot do this, those of you every day, we can make Nigeria better. We can make Nigeria work. Nigeria can still work. When I hear you talking those jargon, I laugh at you. I am not laughing at you, or I am not actually doubting you because I am believing in the self-determination, or I want to secede from Nigeria. It is not about that. The reason why I laugh at you is because you are not understanding the algorithm. You are not following exactly what is making you, poor, or what is making you so, backwards. Number one, if you think about using your energy in Lagos to intimidate Ndi Igbo in Lagos, instead of using your energy to push one Nigeria to go forward, do you think that you will continue to intimidate one another? Tomorrow, these ones will revenge. The other day, these ones will revenge. That is what you will continue to do among each other until time immemorial, until thy kingdom come. It is the only thing you will continue to do within each other. Nobody will ever think of moving the nation to success. Because maybe what is going to move this nation to success, maybe it is going to actually be established in Biafra land. And Fulani feudal system will say no. Instead of me going to Biafra land to establish what will move this country forward, I rather leave it. Maybe what is going to establish Nigeria is what is going to come from Biafra land to the north. Now, an Igbo man may say, no, instead of me taking this thing to the north, I rather leave it. We know Igbo people are very, very, they go everywhere, they make friends, they make families. So it will not come from them. But those that are actually calling themselves one Nigeria with the Igbo man, will they ever allow Igbo man to thrive in Nigeria? The answer is no. Will they ever allow Igbo man to make it in Nigeria? The answer is no. Now, if you look at it, this same Lagos that they want to victimize you, this same Lagos was built, developed, mostly by the Igbos. Mostly by the Igbos. The thing that makes Lagos are mostly the Igbos. Makes Lagos a happening place. A place that people want to go. A place that is like a, if you've never been to Lagos, you have never started. It is the type of business entrepreneurs that is from Biafra extraction that are actually domiciled in Lagos. Those are the reason why Lagos is a happening place in that Nigeria. And now if they are victimized, what do you think will be the fate of Lagos? If these same people are victimized, what will be the fate of Lagos? If you know, you know. If you don't know, you don't know. You will continue to fight with each other while the people continue to exploit what will make you great. So the only way and the only possible solution to actually help yourselves in that Nigeria, it is the disintegration of that structure called Nigeria. Break it. Take it back to the status quo. Let's go back to the status quo. Then we will see progress. The energies of these three different nations, they cannot work for each other. They can work on their own. But I know that you, as an ignorant one Nigerianist, will be seeing what I am saying as talking rubbish. Or those who does not understand the concept of African unification, you will be seeing what I am saying as talking jargon. But it is very, very important that disintegration of Nigeria happen. It will open the eyes of many, and it will open the eyes of Africa for them to see why it is very important to destroy the neo-colonial structure. Those structures they have erected for you, you believe that working on it will help you to thrive. It will never help you to thrive. You need to build your own. And for you to build your own, you need to destroy their own. And for you to destroy their own, you need to suffer for a while before you will be able to build. And that suffering, you've been suffering it for all your life. What about suffering for a while? Or will you be like a tortoise that fell into the pit toilet? By the time they came to remove him, you will start shouting, please get me out of here. This thing is smelling too much. But he has been there He has been there for a very long time. When he saw that people are coming to rescue him, he will start screaming, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here! This thing is smelling too much." So, the most important thing is that you need to understand that Nigeria will never work as one. Alin Onyema is crying. Alin Onyema that is being praised by Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Fulani. Today Alin Onyema is crying. Alin Onyema is crying. It will always be like that. Even though he is in denial of his problems, he is in denial because he believes that it will still get better. He believed that after coming to the media and telling them that if we start talking, he believes that it is a threat to the people he's dealing with. Those people don't give a damn. You can go to hell for all they care. So, whether you say if you start talking, no, they don't care. Do you know what makes America America today? No matter how much you gossip about them, even if you tell them that they are killing people, they are flying in the night, they are doing this, they don't care. The worst people you will deal with are those who does not have shame. Even if they go and kill Mama Gaddafi, you realize that they just killed him because he want to move Africa to be great. They don't care. Meanwhile, power lies with them. And you know what will destroy the same people? I don't care will destroy them. Because where they are supposed to be, looking for peace, they will actually cause problem. Believing that it is all about their military. Their ignorance is going to destroy them. Because now, let me give you as an example of their ignorance. If you look at it, Africa is embracing China and Russia more than the US and Europe. Do you know why? Because US and UK I don't care attitude. You will find out that these people are exploiting you through this. And you will cry about it, to complain about it, they don't care. They will act as if they are not even hearing you. They will act as if you don't even exist. And now, they continue doing what they are doing. While China is coming back, consolidating with you, doing things differently, doing it in a way that it favors both of you, while the US will continue to champion their agenda and Europe will continue to champion their own agenda that is only beneficial to themselves. So now the I don't care attitude because they tell themselves consistency without knowing that this consistency, this is the time of awakening. The strategy of this consistency, there is a way you will beat a child. You beat that child every day. When that child grow to be adult, you do not have to beat the child the same way you are beating the child when they were a child. They are now adult. So if you don't change pattern of how you will beat that adult now, you are still trying to beat the adult like child. One day the adult will find a force to unite with in order to beat you back. Because now they have a complex, brain. Their brain is developed. They are able to make choices now. So, but in a situation whereby you believe this child continue to be a child, it does not matter. We continue to beat them the same way we are beating them all the time. And then that's what will consume you, because now you will go ahead to beat them the way you have been beating them. They will take you by surprise. You wouldn't see it coming. So that is their consistent, their consistent way of manipulating and actually enslaving Africa. It is that same consistency that is going to actually bring them down to their knees at some point. Because this is the last day. Knowledge has increased. Knowledge has increased. Things are happening. Awakenings everywhere. But they will not see it. Because God of the last day will blind their ears. They will not hear. Harden their heart. They will not see changes coming until it comes and destroy all of them. That is the things that happens at the last day. That was they gave you that story. Pharaoh let my people go. Pharaoh insisted because Pharaoh believed, no, I am doing it. I must continue to do it. Consistency is the key towards this thing. But you don't know that without knowing that consistency without change of tactics. Because as an egwu change, that if the dance, the dancing is changing or the music is changing, the dancing steps supposed to be changing with it. But these people believe that inconsistency will ride. We don't change we will never change the approach. We will never change the tactics. We continue brutality, threaten them, threaten them with sanction, threaten them with this. If the United States is very, very intelligent, or Europeans, the fastest things they're supposed to do is to start even releasing these nations that they have sanctioned. Releasing them, give them deals that will actually resuscitate them and bring them back to the global stage. But they will not do it. They will continue to leave them in sanction. And when China go close, China will be giving them small, helping them small, you know. And at the end of the day, I am not talking about Russia, because Russia is not sanctioned. You cannot sanction a nation that is, that is as powerful as you are. You cannot sanction them, because the only thing you use to sanction people is dollar and the military power. That's the only sanction America does. So the sanction they gave to Russia, it is actually useless. It is actually coming back to bite them. So that is the same thing they don't understand. And this is the same narrative Nigeria is using against the people. We continue to oppress them. Every leader that goes into the position of power, that leader gets compromised. That leader gets, carried away. The leader will get, very, very, mean, to the extent that they will be making policies that will continue to provoke everything in Nigeria and everybody in Nigeria. They will not care. They will continue making these policies. Who is advising them to make these policies? If it is not those people who call themselves I don't want to say it's rating agencies, well, because those ones you might not know. I will say that those who believe that they are better than others, they know better than others, will be advising them, do it like this. Or maybe they call themselves economics, professor of economics. Do it like this. A professor of economics is not actually applying what he read. He's applying what America professor of economy did. He is telling you about the policy did in the United Kingdom. He's not telling you policy of what he read. He's telling you policy that they use in another country that worked for them. without measuring the size of the economy of the country and the condition of the country, the infrastructure wise, or without actually thinking about the structure of the country. They just tell you, America did it like this, do it like this. You continue to sink because they make they are your role model. America and Europe is your role model. You continue to follow them blindly. You continue to follow them blindly until they lead you into the dish. It is the last day. The time for everyone to start actually, looking back. Over these years, I have been praying. What have I achieved? Over these years, I have been following this pastor. What have I achieved? Over these years, I've been sleeping in church. What have I achieved? Over these years, I have been working. What have I achieved? Nothing. Over these years, I have been one Nigerianist. What has it given me? Nothing. You will, if you begin to look back and start asking yourself such questions, believe you me, you will begin to think like a human being. Because right now, all of you that are championing one Nigeria, you are not thinking right. You are not thinking right. Because one Nigeria is destroying you. Count how many people who are rich. When I say rich, I mean people who are rich. Like Dangote, like Mike Adenuga. I am talking about that type of rich. How many people who are rich that is not politicians? I want you to tell me how many people who are rich that is not politicians or connected one way or the other to politicians. I don't want you to tell me e-money, because e-money, the same e-money Naija Alacha, what is the name of this Aboro in Lagos, this tout, who started evicting Igbos in Lagos, MC Olomo. Is it your e-money that will go and start na Alachi Ike? These are people who are connected to politicians one way or the other. They are the ones who appear rich to you because they have sold you out. They have sold you out in order to make money. That is the thing they call Ogwego, money ritual. They have sold you out to make money. Many people believe that Ogwego is only when you go to native doctor. This time around, they use the whole community to do their Ogwego. That's what these people are doing by selling you out. Take your destinies for themselves. It is not actually something Bologun Akwukwo did. It is actually something that is actually systematically done. When somebody is supposed to actually do a service to a community, do a service to a place, they refuse to do it. They enrich themselves. Those who gave them the contract did not actually do, the oversight or reprimand them. That is those they have sold you out. I will handle them. Don't worry. These are the people you find being rich in Nigeria. If you are not ready to be evil in Nigeria, you cannot be rich. Right? So, is it the type of life you want to bequeath your children? Don't you want a change? Don't you know that in this regard, those people who are rich, if they will kill you, they will deal with you. You will not even go to police because you know the outcome already. You will not try to waste your time. You already know the outcome. They are going to bring out the good lawyer. You don't even have money to buy a lawyer. Why don't you actually call for disintegration of those structure that choose whom to make rich amongst millions, and those people will begin to intimidate you. Inequality is the order of the day. Why don't you call for that change that will disintegrate such structure? Then every man shall be equal in the eyes of the law, just like Bob Marley said. Because the only thing they don't want to happen around you is equality in the eyes of the law. They don't want anything that will enable you to, benefit such equality in the eyes of the law. They want, when they are passing, they will be throwing money on the air for you. They will be throwing money on the air for you. And when they are throwing money, they are making themselves, you are God. Because you will be giving them respect, like, you will be giving them respect without knowing this money these people are throwing to you like a beggar. It is your money. You might not agree with me, but those are your money. You have equal shareholding. You have equal share of that money. But because asị na-eke oke n'aka n'aka amalụ ndị akpọrọ asị, that is exactly what is going on in Nigeria. They are sharing these things hand to hand. I take. That is what they are doing. They chose whom to bless. If God were man, but in Nigeria, God has become man. In Nigeria, God has become man. Even in Africa, God has become a man. If God were man, in Africa, God has become man. Because those that are made rich, some of you see them as God. Mmadụ bụ Chibia. Mmadụ bụ Chibia. That is, but it actually surpassed such, the context of this adage. It surpassed the context of this adage. Because mmadụ bụ Chibia, it is another context. But in Nigeria, this money, these people who are better than you become your God because you worship them. Some people are not follow for Oja. Some people are not follow for Egu. They are your God. You are glorifying them. And that is the reason why they will never want, a light to come to a community, because you have glorified them. How can you get a light so that you will not glorify them again because they are the only ones who have a light and pipe-borne water? No, that is actually institution that must be demolished. And for these institutions to be demolished, we must start from the status quo. Where is the status quo? The structure that was erected by the imperial power. That is where we must start with. If we can destroy this structure, we will rebuild. Because we have seen our challenges. We rebuild it according to the solution to our challenges. The structure was erected only to favor the the colonialist, who was actually controlling the protectorate. Now, it is now you and I here, while we are still living the structure that was built to only cater for the protectorate, or the leaders of the protectorate rather. So now you are trying to force this structure that is not built for you as a different, different um, challenges, or different way of doing things, approach is different. For you, the structure is not compatible with you, or with your approach, or with your challenges. The structure is compatible with those who actually erected it, because it will always work in the favor of those, not in your favor. So for you to build a structure that will work for you, you must go back to the status quo, pre-colonialism. You must build what will work for you, not what will make people, will you say capitalist? We create capitalist. Of course, capitalists create employment. Capitalists, create employment. Capitalism, you know, capitalism is not actually compatible with African system. Capitalism, it is not compatible with African system. I believe what is compatible with African system is socialism. The reason why I am saying this, it is because power toxic. Black people are very, very power intoxicated. Power intoxicated. And now, if you talk about capitalism in Africa, you will talk about those capitalists. Who are those? Foreign investors. They are mainly foreign investors who are seen as the capitalists. Foreign investors. So, imagine a situation whereby your own people are now graded as those capitalists. Having known and understand how intoxicated they can be, when power, is in their possession. That is the reason why you find so many people today. They have to sell you in order to be there, to be above you. They have to do everything. Capitalist is, if you talk about Nigeria, will I say, I don't even understand the type of structure Nigeria is running on. Is it running on capitalism? Is it running on socialism? Nigeria is confused. Even Nigeria's structure, it is confused. It does not know if it is on socialism or capitalism. It does not know. Because you cannot tell, most people cannot even tell where their food is coming for the day. A place where 66 million people are unemployed. 33% people are unemployed. 200 and something million, more than 66 million actually. 33%, more than 66 million. If Nigeria is 216 million, it is more than 66 million people unemployed in Nigeria. So you can see that Nigeria does not even understand where it is actually, standing. Whether it is standing on capitalism or socialism, because if you look around you, you will understand that The previous administration told you that it is not the duty of the government to create employment, but it is the duty of government to create enabling environment to actually attract the investors. Where are the investors? If you are creating enabling environment, where are the investors? Because this is the reason why you can never get a job, because if the government did not get investor from outside, you will not get employment. You will be unemployed. If the government did not attract somebody else to come and give you a job, you will be unemployed. That is it. So where are the enabling environment for the capitalists to come in and give you a job? There is no enabling environment. So it means that now it is like you are running on, so you are like a socialist country. You are like a socialist country. But the mere fact is that you are confused. You don't even know what your structure stands for. Because government will tell you different thing. They will be doing different thing altogether. So it is time for the disintegration of Nigeria. Forget people like Asare Dokubo, who talk from both sides of their mouth. It is where their stomach is where they go. Let me play you a clip of whom Asare Dokubo really is. A betrayer. A betrayer. That is whom Asare Dokubo is. Just pay attention to this clip.
You open, you take your leprosy hand to write. You don't have respect for the people who bought your father. Is this every Calabar man that is a Calabar man?
You don't have a respect for people who bought your fathers. This is the man that is in the position of power. You don't have respect for the people who bought your fathers. Listen, let's continue.
You open, you take your leprosy hand to write. You don't have respect for the people who bought your father. Is this every Calabar man that is a Calabar man? Do you know that roots? That you talk to me. You don't know that people own this Calabar? You are law abiding. Igbos, I don't know them. I don't know where they come from.
Listen.
Because I know that if not for British intervention, I would still be selling them. The way my father sold them. Now look at you people in Igbo land. Look at how you are dying. Woto. You are talking. You will do video to sell that Elijah has run away. You don't see me? I don't run. Leave me alone.
Hey.
You don't see me? I don't run. On my head, no correct. On my head, no correct. The be like son, they look for who go finish on. Look for now everywhere, finish on. And they see me.
So this is it. He is telling you that they are the people who can do anything for money. That if not the intervention of Britain, that he is still going to be selling human being. He is still going to be selling human being. That his forefathers sold the Igbos. Confession time. that he is killing Igbo people. They are dying woto woto woto. This is the same man that Tinubu is now working with. The same man Tinubu is working with. Then they will tell you, Igbo man, one Nigeria. Dave Umahi will come and agree because they promise him Igbo presidency. And Hope Uzodimma, ex-convict, will come and agree because they promise him Igbo presidency. You see now Ojuzo Kalu, Melonu Kezi the other day, will agree because they promised them Igbo presidency. All of them. This is the same man, Tinubu, that Ojuzo Kalu has been, defending. Your wife is a Christian, and I don't mind. I believe Muslim ticket is the best. Believing they will give you red chamber without you knowing that you are a slave, eyeing the positions of the master, is a shame unto you. This is the man now he is working for. He is working with. The man who said that he's been selling you, Igbo people. He's been selling you, Igbo people. You guys are cowards. Hi, God. When Igbo man see follow Igbo man, they turn tiger. But when Igbo man see their boogeyman, Igbo man anwụna dịka ede. Hi! Chai! Tofiakwa. Onye melu ndị Igbo ife a. Who did this to our people? You will go everywhere. Igbo man will be intimidated by anything, anybody, as long as that thing is foreign. Igbo man will not revenge. Igbo man will not react. Mana ya wụrụ nwanne onye Igbo mezili Igbo man ife. Igbo man adị trigger happy. Igbo man amalụ that na a na-enwe obodo enwe. Hi! Tụfịa akwa. Ndị Igbo onye mere unu ife a? Onye mere unu ife a? Ndị Igbo wu ndị na-ebu nwanne fa mana fa pụọ na outside. Fa jụọ oyi dịka akamụ gbara ọla. Hi! This is very bad. Don't be surprised that Ojuzo Kalu now, if you call him tomorrow, next 4 years, he will campaign for Tinubu. Don't be surprised. I am telling you the honest truth. Because there is something they call long suffering. We will continue to manage. It will attack all the jog. I believe he will still do something. Because Tinubu will call him on the phone and say, if you cook at Bazu, don't worry. Don't worry. And they will buy the story. Because they are cowards. These are cowards. Ndị Igbo dị very, very fast igbu nwanne fa. Mana ndị Igbo dị very, very slow in anger ma ọ bụrụ onye mbịambịa, ma ọ bụrụ onye si ebe ọzọ. Mana ọ bụrụ igbu nwanne gị, nwanne ị ga-apị n'egbe, ị ga-agba ya, ị ga-adọtịrị gị anwụ, ịdọsasịa ya. Chai! All the very, very bad. And this is the reason why we are backward. This is the reason why we are Fulani slaves. Of course, I am no longer Fulani slaves. Those of you who are believing in one Nigeria, you are Fulani slaves. This is the reason why we are British slaves. This is the reason why Asare Dokubo say that he is selling you. The same person selling you is the same person Hope Uzodimma is working with. He proud to say he sold Ndibo. This same person claim he's working with Soludo. Nwambafo. Or Chale Nwambafo. This same person who say he is killing you, dying woto. This same person say that he is selling you. And he said that his ancestors sold you. That you are lucky that Britain make intervention. Otherwise, his ancestor will continue to sell you. And now he is now selling you systematically. Once an that is our people, Ndi Igbo. on the Igbo. Nwanza na-elu ọkụ sị na ọ na-ara mmanụ. Especially all these Igbo politicians who cannot use their tongue to count their teeth. Those people, it's either you pity them or you destroy them. These are your biggest problem. Those who are wielding smoking gun against their own people whom they are suffering with or whom they are struggling with. That gun you are turning on your own people whom you are hustling with. Tugaleaya, go and face your common enemy. Go and face your common enemy. Because that person that is in the jungle with you, it is not your enemy. That person in the jungle with you is not your enemy. It is your friend, it is your family that you will fight side by side with when the common enemy arrives. If you kill them today, you will have no one to fight side by side with when the time the common enemies arrive. Igbo tụrụ inu si na o rufuru ebe eji mbazu enyi oru ibia na-amụ ya amụ, ọ marọ na tọn ya na-abịa, nke gị ga-aka njọ. Ndị Igbo nyelu n'onwe unu aka. Help yourselves. It is as a result of the stupidity that our people are actually promoting everywhere. It is the reason why somebody like Asare Dokubo will come and generalize, tell you that his ancestors sold you, do your worst. He is selling you and he is making you die woto. Nobody responded to him because ndị Igbo wu ndị gba aka achụ ya na-ata alụ. Hey! Ọkamma n'ụlọ, ọkamma n'ezi. Ọkamma n'ezi, okike na-eke n'ụlọ, ọwụ ndị Igbo, okike na-eke n'ụlọ. It pains my heart. It makes my heart bleed. Change will occur. Freedom will come to our people. Mbọsịfa ga-ekwụsị iwe ọkụ n'ebe ụmụnne fa nọ. Iwe ọkụ imi egbe gbagbuo ya. Iwe ọkụ iwelu mbọtụ sugbuo ya, iwelu mmama gbuo ya. Ị na-ewe iwe ọkụ. Mana ọ pụtazie ebe onye ọzọ, onye a ga-eme gị akaje niile a ga-eme gị, you will never react. Ịghọlụ akamụ ọ ịghọlụ alịbọ ma nni ọka. In fact, alịbọ nni ọka ka na-esitu ike. Ịghọlụ alịbọ mana ọ pụta ha n'ebe nwanne gị nọ. Hai, iwulu onye Igbo. Iwulu onye Igbo. Ndị Igbo a na-atụ ụjọ n'ụwa niile mana ha ejiri gị imi melụcha onwe ha alụ. Onye pụtazi ọ na-epre ọnụ ndị Igbo. Ebe ọbụla ndị Igbo jelu mmadụ ejiri fa na-egwu egwu. Hai! Chineke mekwela anyị ebele. It is only God intervention that will help you. One thing you must understand is that for the God intervention to come, you need to start doing your own path. Heaven help those who help themselves. If you continue to relax for these people to destroy you, Asare Dokubo is fighting you in Igbo. Some of your politicians are using him because the politician does not like you in Igbo. Now, Alaba market, or is it Alaba? I believe it is Alaba. It is demolished. It is now demolished. Who is paying the price? Ndị Igbo, because they have more businesses there. Don't forget, these people must actually destabilize you in Igbo. Destabilize you in Igbo. Cause problem between you and every other ethnic group in Igbo. It is not because they love this ethnic group. They are doing it to make sure that you're standing alone. To make sure that the world will see you. Why is it only you standing alone? That is the reason why they are doing it. That is the reason why they are causing this conflict between you and the Oduduwa. They will cause it between you and the other people. That is the diplomacy behind what they are doing. But you will not understand it because in Morocco is a Chuowoji before Ochichele Agba. But the most important thing is that the Igbo people must wake up now before it gets late. Take your inheritance now. Take your inheritance now. Time is running out. Everybody is securing their own. You are scattering your own table. Now, that is the reason why a typical example. Igbo wenyi mele nyifa. You don't see Canon Takano. Canon Takano today. His brother is in the solitary confinement, suffering. All Canon Takano and Emmanuel Kano are interested in is which governor will give the body. How will they make money? Where is their stomach going to lie? That is what they are actually up for. Where are we going to get this money? Even though they will do everything, including sabotaging their own brother, for the sake of this money to come. It is very, very bad. Now you will see Ejimakor. One moment. Now you will see Ejimakor. Ejimakor that is, his track record is not, nothing to write home about. His track record is nothing to write home about. If you look at it, just like I read for you, Ejimakor's reason, or the reason why Ejimakor cannot practice in USA, where he studied law, because of his deceitful nature, because he committed fraud there, because Ejimakor misrepresented people. The same thing that Ejimakor was charged with in United States is the same thing Ejimakor is practicing with the case of Nnamdi Kanu. The same thing that Canon Takano is actually using him and the agent of the evildoers in Finland. These are what they are using him to do. Misrepresenting Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and everything Mazen Nnamdi Kanu stands for. Misrepresentation. They think we will not know. They think we are fools. They think we are stupid. Let me be honest with you. Canon Takano, there is nothing makes you special. Emmanuel Kano, nothing makes you special. I don't know you. I didn't see you before I follow your brother. So you are nobody to me. You are nothing. those people who are committed to this struggle are more important to me than you. So the fact that you people are doing what you are doing, I can even actually advise our people to tell, to make sure when you are addressing these people, don't address them like Onyendu's brothers. Don't. Just remove that Onyendu. Call them by their names. Because it is a shame to know the activities of these people. Ejimakor's case he had in the USA is the same thing he is doing in Nigeria. The same thing that he was actually he did in the USA, that they took away his right to practice in the USA. He did not even finish answering the case. Now, the same problem, the same thing that Ejimakor came, the same ethics that Ejimakor came to Nigeria with. Nigeria, of course, it is a dumping ground for criminals. A dumping ground. I am telling you the honest truth. If it is not a dumping ground, a person is supposed to be, before you actually represent people in the court of law, there must be some evaluation did with your studies wherever you studied, or your activities where you studied. No, they don't do that. There is no due diligence being done in Nigeria. There is no oversight being done. Everybody will be, as long as you find a way, you get into the system. And that is the reason why you find this type of people who's supposed to actually making sure the law uphold, but they are the ones using the law to using in the name of law representatives to steal from people, to deceive people, to misrepresent people. That is exactly what this Ejimakor is doing. The track record is very, very important in everything somebody is doing. Their track record. Ejimakor's track record that prevents him from practicing in the USA, it is a case of deceit, a case of misrepresentation, and a case of fraud. Do you know what that is? Let me now bring it to what he is doing with the Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's case. He will go and lie to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and try to convince him that Ekperima in Finland is the only person that is fighting for your release. While Ekperima in Finland has plotted a coup against him. Now Ekperima in Finland will gather money and give him Ejimakor. He pocket it. Ejimakor will continue to act like he is working on behalf of IPOB. He is a double agent. He will be pretending as if he's representing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, a double agent, because there is nowhere they are getting money. It is all this, case of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu shenanigan. That is where people like him and all those other ones that are, doing the same thing he's doing are focusing on. They don't have any other thing to do. That is the reason why they must be rich in this one or die trying. That's exactly what they are doing. Deceiving Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Trying to fight Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, most trusted lawyer. Just like they are, the infiltrator were trying to fight Mazen Nnamdi Kanu structure. They are fighting everything that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu put together that is more resolute. They continue to fight it only because of fortune and fame. Just for the sake of fortune and fame. Ejimakor's track record is nothing to write home about, and the same thing is repeating itself in Nigeria because there is no law and order. And it is something that needs to be dealt with. Ejimakor cannot respect the structure that is actually erected by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Then it means Ejimakor is not worthy, or Ejimakor is not IPOB or Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's representative. He is Kanonta Kanu and Emmanuel Kanu and Onyoshin Kasi on Ekpekpele. He is their representatives. So he continued to represent them. And the thief in Finland, he will continue to represent them. Those are the people he is representing, not Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Because Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is actually a man with no blemish. So these people are actually like, they want to bring dent to his name. But people does not know the reason why all these people are doing what they are doing. They want to bring dent. They want to dent the name of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. But they will not succeed, because we will continue to protect that legacy until Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is out. So, we need to know and understand that Nigeria must be disintegrated before you get the best out of the people who are living in it. Because many people have sold their soul to the devil for the sake of fortune and fame. If infrastructure is in order, if there is job opportunities, if there are hospitals, good schools, good public schools in Nigeria, if you have them in Nigeria, everything, I don't think that there will be people who will be recognizing that there are rich people. You will know that there are rich people, but you will never worship them. You will know that they possess the same type of right, the same amount of rights you possess. But it is to make everything to be the way it is today. It is an institution so that there will be supreme God amongst men. I will leave it here. But most importantly, there is something I am missing. The trip that was embarked by the African leader to Russia and Ukraine. African leaders went to Russia and Ukraine to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine. And of course, I believe that the African leaders, don't worry, Nigerian leader is not involved. Nigerian leader, of course, you know that they can never be involved with a good innovation that is going to present Africa to the global stage. Because if Africa leaders is able to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine, don't you know that it ranks Africa on the global stage, positively. So Nigeria leaders are never involved with anything that will enhance the economic growth of Africa. They will only be on the side of the things that will plunge the economic growth of Africa, regardless of maybe they will go and take picture with the other people. But Nigeria is well controlled by the power of the imperialist, and the power of neocolonialism. They are so happy with their colonial master. They are so happy with their, master. They don't even want to go against their master or go contrary to things that will harm the master. They are suffering from a Stockholm syndrome. That is Nigeria for you. So these African leaders, I believe, was led by a South African leader, president, but they had a hiccup in Warsaw, in Poland. When they arrived in Poland, they ripped off the security that is supposed to go with the South African president to Ukraine. They were actually, will I call it detained for 20 hours, because if you leave them in their flight without allowing them pass, it is a kind of detained for 20 hours for the best reason known to them. Of course, they are doing maybe their due diligence, but for 20 hours, it is a detention and there is more to it. Could it be that the Poland does not want Africa to be the ones to broker peace between Russia and Ukraine? Or could it be that the Poland are also trying to bully South Africa to take a stance? And the president of Senegal was there. President of, I believe, Congo was there. Delegation from Uganda was there. And there went president of, was it Egypt? Was it Egypt or Algeria? One of them, their president was there as well. And they were well received. After going to Ukraine, they went to Russia. They spoke. They had a peace talk to negotiate peace between these two people. But of course, I believe that it is yielding fruit. Now, the backlash that they are getting is there is a war in their backyard. They could not go to broker peace with for them. And if you look at it, Africa, the journey they embarked upon was a very, very significant one, because if they are able to succeed, if they eventually succeed in brokering peace between Russia and Ukraine, that means in the global stage, will represent positivity. Now, will be respected. And secondly, it will be a slap to the face of the West. It will be a big slap on the face of the West. So, I believe that is the reason why the African leaders who are ambitious decided to take a bold step. And I like what they did. I support them. It is a bold step. Because most of the people who are actually, giving them this backlash does not understand the forces that is causing wars in Africa. The forces that are causing wars in Africa are the only forces that will be able to stop this war, such as the war in Sudan. Those forces are the only people who will be able to stop it. Because African countries are very, very, these people, they are difficult. Especially they are difficult against their fellow Africans. When they see their fellow Africans, they open their eyes wide. They want to eat them up. African nations. But when they see the Europeans, when they see the Asians, they are very, very loyal. They become a loyal servant. So I don't think, some of this, you will be giving these leaders backlash for going to Ukraine. These leaders that went to Ukraine, they are not African Union. Maybe they are members of African Union, but they are not African Union as a body. They did not go to Ukraine as African Union. They go to Ukraine as leaders who want to broker peace, who is targeting a big fish. Those are the ones who went there. It is not those who will be increasing your tariff when you are suffering. They are looking for better deals to their foreign policy, towards their foreign policy. That's what they are looking for their people. The most important thing that people does not understand is that Africa to be great, they need to start learning how to accommodate themselves. Accommodate themselves. Accommodating themselves does not mean that I will cease from being a Biafra and become a South Sudanese, or become a Fulani, or become a Ghana. I will continue to be Biafra. But when I see you as a Sudanese person, I accommodate you. I know that we are in this mess together. Not when you see me, I become your prayer. I become your problem. Crime in everywhere. If there is a crime in your country, becomes me, because I am a fellow black person. So do you think that this type of people will listen to their fellow black people to cease fire? They are waiting for the master. The game of the elite. That is the same game that is troubling our minds. That is the same game that is not enabling us to thrive. That is the same game that is not enabling us to emancipate. That is the same game that is not enabling us to grow as nations. Until we find a way to actually do away with this response, to the game that this imperialist is playing, the drum they are playing that we are dancing. We are going nowhere. And it must start with the structure that they have erected in your own soil. Destroy the structure. After you might have suffered for a while, you will rise up. When you rise up with a flying color, and that is the blessings of God that adds no sorrow. It is everlasting. That is the blessing you are going to receive immediately when you break the structure. Immediately when you say no to the structure, you will get that blessing after you might have suffered for a while, a blessing that adds no sorrow. Until we meet again. Shalom.